There should have been a lot more story.
Might want to wait to that over.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
Bearded Brix.
Back with the chilling
Ooh.
haunted house.
Spooky.
We did not know what we were buying when we bought this. I legitimately thought we were buying a haunted house, not a attraction.
Yeah, not a ride.
But nonetheless, it's amazing.
Very, very nice build.
When it comes to modular buildings, we have not built very many of them, but there is so much little detail hidden in this on the outside to make it look cool. It's unreal.
So both of us were talking whenever we were researching this. The combination of studs and bricks going up the sides on all four corners looks amazing.
I mean, it's got gutters and drains, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, the gutter, like the way they've done gutters in front of the slopes right here and the little drain holes for the water. I mean, just the little small attention to detail is amazing.
The only thing I don't like is the fact that they use frogs for gargoyles.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but I get what they're trying to do with it. So before we get too far, this is set number 10273.
It is 3,231 pieces.
Yeah.
Of
pure chilling. Of which 100 of it is the chain back
There's
here.
more than 100. I think there's like 150 links in it.
Maybe 150 links in the chain. So you're getting a 3,000 piece set. But
with chain.
Yeah, with chain.
It does open up
to reveal all the interior.
The attraction. On the outside of it, it does have a lot of neat things that we'll get to in a minute. But first, the ride.
I mean, that's the main part of this, right?
So you buy your ticket.
Yeah.
You hop on the ride.
Look here, I'm trying to remember how to do it here.
You click now. Lock this and turn that.
It's locked. Yeah.
So go up.
So as you keep going up, which actually in the back here too, it's got a little Technic piece that knocks against the gear. So you hear that chain turning.
Remember when you get up top, you got to stop.
Yeah.
Because you'll break it.
Yeah. So as you get to the top, you pop the doors open.
Then,
it's a what, Tower of Terror? Isn't that what Disney's main one is?
Yeah.
Like one of the first ones where it was a drop. And then you click the little switch back here, and it drops it. And there's nice little flywheels back here that kind of slow it down and give it some extra rotating
they
mass.
made to do this is really cool. It's set up really good.
Yeah.
Another cool thing that we didn't really realize while building this is back in the day, Lego had sets called the Adventure sets. They had, I guess, followed Johnny Quest and a guy named Von Barron. All of things that you build in this set include things that he has found on the quests. You have obelisks, you have Sphinx heads, you have an organ,
Anubis head.
Yeah, Anubis heads. You have rubies that he's found.
The Mount Everest idol.
There's a lot of everything you build and place in here comes from that, and that's where they get the theme of it's haunted. It became haunted because of
him stealing a ruby.
Yeah, him stealing everything.
And that really starts up in this corner right here where you see his picture. There's a light up brick in there that whenever you push the outside, which we'll get a better picture of it later, you actually see this mummy figure.
And it's kind of
come through, and that's the where haunting, the curse come from.
The curse.
Yeah.
You got a curse.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of printed pieces on here. There's not many stickers at all.
There's no stickers.
There's no stickers?
No stickers.
No stickers. They are done very well. Like I said, everything in this set was sought after and thought out. Even from, it's got tombstones in the front. It's got a Von Barron sign in the back. Everything works very well. The only problem is if you crank it up too high and continue doing it, you'll break the chain link.
When you
break the chain link, no. It is annoying because you kind of have to take the ride apart to repair it.
Right. So there is a little there's tons of small detail in it But one of them that's really cool is right here. There's a little camera that is supposed to take your picture through this window as you're falling for the attraction. And,
Which all attractions have.
most anything with a drop has that. And that's a really cool little
added feature.
Yes.
While building it, I kept trying to figure out, I was like, why in the world are we placing a camera here? And then I was like, wait a minute.
Hold on a minute. And then whenever you shut it and it all comes together, you realize exactly what that's for. So, you ain't getting no pictures out like this. You're taking a picture of nothing. But
yeah. One of the things to kind of show you some detail on the outside is if you come around here, you actually build a knob. The knob you can turn, and when you turn the knob...
You can't find it. There it is.
Oh, I'll spin it the wrong way. You sling open the front doors. Every haunted house attraction you go to, every kind of ghost ride you go to, the first thing that's going to happen are the doors. They're either going to open really slowly and creepily, or they're just going to blow open, kind of scare you that way. You get the
creak, or you get the slam.
Yeah. And I think that is a really cool, little additive.
Yeah.
They do have a graveyard out front that has a pumpkin in it with some gravestones, and then going up the house, you have the first little slopes that bring out the detail that come up. You have the big, kind of bay windows that come out. Then you got the chimney, and then you have the tower in the back.
So as you can see, whenever you open it up, you've got all this detail inside, which is what we were talking about a little earlier. So over here you have this painting. So up here you can see the painting that whenever you hit the button on the outside, which is the sign that says Manor Von Barron, you see this pharaoh figure behind the painting come through, and it lights up that ruby nice and red. The way they achieve this is inside of that painting, there's a pharaoh printed on a just piece of clear glass that sits in front of this painting, or sits right behind this painting with the brick behind it.
It's a really simple way to do this, and they achieved it very well.
Agreed.
I mean, you throw a small LED and you cast a shadow, and it brings it out. Organ is probably my favorite thing in this entire set. It is done, you might look at it and think that it just looks like an organ, but there's probably 75 to 100 pieces in this organ.
Right. Also, right above it, you can see the Anubis heads on both sides of the organ. And to the right here, you have an obelisk that has some hieroglyphics on it.
They're really cool. The obelisk, the hieroglyphics that it actually says, depicts the word ogle, which is Lego backwards.
That's also from another set called Alpha Team, I think is what it was. And it's a cool little Easter egg.
It's just another throwback.
Lego backwards.
It's just another throwback to they added a little piece of history in this set.
All right, so and here's something new from any of the sets, and it's this blue piece, and it's called a Resonator. It did have a ruby in it, which it's actually turned blue. But this Resonator is what has brought the ghost into this mansion. So now we've cursed, and we've also, dabbled in some spirits and brought some ghosts out. So you're
one away from a trifecta. You had a serial killer in there, and you're done.
He's not doing very good. He just needs to stop. Also on the front of the ride, you can see the Sphinx head. So down here where the ticket booth is, and above the ticket booth is the idol of Everest. And above that is another room where there are just little odds and ends in. So TrashBot is something that neither one of us know about, but the parts are there to build TrashBot. There's also another Alpha Team reference in here, which is the yellow piece off to the right of that little box, and then another skeleton head inside a jar. So here you can kind of see up top is where he was doing some reading, and there is some speculation that this is Von Barron himself, because he used to wear a hat in the later series and changed his name to Sin Sinister or something like that. So that could be him, or it could be somebody else that was working here due to the hats. The Minifigs, there's two guys that wear hats, but you can kind of see that was where his reading room was, with the candles and the skulls, and pretty cool looking. And you can also see the functionality of the door right there. And you can see the gears, which is pretty simple little door.
I like the floating chandelier too.
Yeah.
That adds a little bit of detail.
Right.
In the back here, it kind of has a little gear. You lock the gear, and off to the side is a crank. You're going to start turning the crank, and as you turn the crank, they go up. Once you get right at the first window, you can kind of see, and you can kind of hear it. It'll start to feel, I guess, a little more tension. And then you'll see the doors open. Once the doors pop open, you kind of just let it sit there. You take the other gear in the back, and you flip it, and boom.
Yeah.
You're back down at the bottom.
And it slowly lowers back into place.
There's a bunch of wheels and tires that you put together in this that really, while you're building it, you don't understand it. Once the ride goes and you see it hit them and slow it down so nothing bad, I guess, happens or falls apart, you realize why you did it.
Yeah. And so this also pops out really easily to access the minifigs. I say that, and there it goes. So that's how you get your minifigs in and out.
To start off these minifigs, we're going to start with this girl. This is the first set that we've built that doesn't have names for minifigs. They're kind of just however you want to play them out and whatever you want to do. They all are double-sided except for the figs. They all come with a scared face or kind of like a little smirk, like a happy face. You know, it's one of those things when you go on a ride. At first you're happy, and then at the end of it, yeah. They do have back printing, but these are very common figs. There's nothing really that stands out about them.
So one thing about her, and I feel like they should have done her chest, where it's a duller yellow than the skin, and that's probably just because it's an older print and just not as quality. You know, you can't pull the quality that they can now, or they couldn't before they could now.
Here's the next girl. Kind of looks like a Karen, I guess you'd say. She doesn't really have a name or a backstory either. Her chest is just as the same as the other. It's kind of dull. They didn't really change anything about it. She is very plain. Nothing detailed about her either.
No. So this is one of the twins that operate the ride. They're both identical. They both just have these, top hats and red beards and nice little tuxedo or a vest on. And that's just,
Would you trust a guy that wears a tuxedo to run a haunted house?
Maybe that's a uniform. Sure. So in here we have our handicap guy. This ride is handicap accessible. So I think that's a neat little odd, additive that they threw in there.
He looks terrified right now to hand his ticket out. Next up are two minifigures that don't have names, but they do have a play on Lego. This is one of them that's from a Hidden Side set that it kind of hits on. She does have the Hidden Side High School logo on it and the high school animal on the back, kind of that shows the pride. They do not come double-sided, but they are a little more detailed than the other ones. Right. This is another one of the ones that kind of has like a Hidden Side feel to it. He resembles, but one of the creators actually put his initials on the shirt, and it kind of depicts him also.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to butcher his name. But his initials are hidden in there, which is kind of a cool little Easter egg.
But still not a very detailed minifig.
No.
This is one of the ghosts they give you. They are, like I said, identical. They just come with a little white dress and white minifig torso. The heads and hoods are pretty cool. You could use these for a lot of other things. The fact that they included some ghosts in this was really cool, and not like the older ghosts where it's just like a cloak over a body.
Last minifig is potentially Von Barron himself, or just another guy that got trapped there. One of the two. There's a lot of story behind the set, and there's no story behind the minifigs, which is a little strange. I kind of wish that's one problem I have with this set. So that's what we were saying with the minifigs. The only problem I have with this set is there's no story behind the minifigs. If we could have got a name on maybe even just the guys that were running it.
Maybe they then be related to Von Barron somehow, and they've taken over his manor to keep up with everything. maybe have the high school kids, like even from the hidden side, because I don't know if you know this, but hidden side is like a set
Haunted.
you build that when you look at it through an app on a phone or scan something, it kind of translates it to a haunted or a scarier type thing.
So, and I understand those two, and I get that some of the riders, they can be anonymous, but like the guy that's hanging from the top, is that Von Barron, or is it just somebody that worked there? And the two guys, are they related to him or what? Just some extra story, because the story in the house, is
there's so much
amazing.
that makes no sense for them not to have a story for the minifigs.
Right.
But this overall is one of the best sets that came out this year. It did take us a while to get. I tried to get it the night it came out, and it failed through. And lo and behold, we went to a Lego store an hour away from our house, and they had like 50 of them.
Yeah. So.
But this is a buy that I would have to say you would need to buy for 2020. It did get our top 10 list for this year.
Definitely.
But thanks for watching our review.
We'll see y'all next time.
Come back and see us.